You're an angel from above, never waver in your love. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Does anyone else out there feel like the climate of our nation has shifted in ways that happen to be challenging for quite a number of us? I'm using my smart device with the trackback feature, but that's not the only thing I have on hand. Just to clarify, and just to make it exceedingly clear that we should not rely on electronics for our well-being. We should not rely on prescriptions for our well-being. The first thing to consider when walking out into a place that you either have or have not been to, where your physical attributes are going to be tested, is to have a plan of approach. Take a small backpack with emergency rations, load up in advance on water and snacks. You don't have to just carry these things with you, and plan something that's well within your own capabilities. I wondered momentarily what the people passing by in their cars would think. Would they wonder what I was looking at? I wondered this as I saw this beautiful, amazing desert spider. It's become increasingly difficult to see some of these signs of life in these areas. Throughout this desert, there is evidence of former life, former occupation, former travelers, and also the constants. And sometimes all these things can be seen just a few steps away from the road. What about when we get too far away from the road to where we can't even see where we parked? Will we remember how to get back? And do we even know where we are headed? So today I'm heading out into uncharted territory for me. And as I started out the segment saying, safety first, I'm completing yet another hike, I should say beginning yet another hike wearing sandals. It's quite brisk outside, as you saw on the video. I'm not too very far from where I started, and so I've got quite a bit of time to go, and I know that the temperature is going to change quite a bit. Again, this is an uncharted walk for me. I have no idea what's off in this direction. What I do know is that we were absolutely blessed with that sighting of the beautiful desert spider. Here are the landmarks that were behind us. This is what I'm going to be using to navigate my walk back to where I came from. And this peak is approximately where I'm headed to. I woke up a barn owl 2 times during this day. Right now I'm scanning the horizon, hoping that maybe you can spot the barn owl. It landed, but it was hard for me to try and narrow down where it was in the viewfinder with the sun glare and also with the distance away that the owl had flown. So right now there wasn't a very safe place to sit in the shade under that outcrop. So I'm pressing on to see if I can find a different space. every so often I'll forego my water on the way, especially during times like this, and I'll just become increasingly thirsty, not to the point of passing out or delirium or anything, but I'll end up sharing my water like this. Hope you could see that. It's kind of awkward and cumbersome trying to do this all with one hand. But I do that primarily because some of these species are on the brink, just like us. And I honestly can go for many more miles without water. It might be uncomfortable, sure, but it's not a matter of life and death like it is for some of the plants and also the animals in this park, although you can't feed the animals. But I never saw anything about watering plants, so. As you can see, something sleeps up here frequently. So after all that climbing around at the higher elevations, I found that the lower elevations had just the right, safe, easy to get to place that allowed me to take in the view and have a snack and rehydrate. So I haven't found any mylar balloons today, which is a good thing. Haven't really found any evidence out here of recent civilization, but I have found evidence of past civilizations. And also, there was definitely a lot of signs of life. There were definitely a lot of signs of life out here. So that's it's important, you know. It's important to understand that there is life out here, and maybe to think inclusively of the life that is here while we visit a place like this. I say that as I'm listening to the droning on of an engine right now of a car, a distant car. It's very distant. It's at least 2.5 miles away, but I can hear it. And so far today, I've stirred up the same owl twice somehow. I keep trying to film it, but I'm not permitted to for whatever reason. And I've been following in the direction that it kind of goes, and I'm doing that because it's showing me inadvertently the wild places, the places that normally would have life-sustaining capabilities. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm walking around out here, taking advantage of the shade here and again. I've given most of my water to the plants out here, and I had a sip after I had my snack, which was a pear that I got at the Cottonwood store yesterday, and that pear was nice and juicy. It's unbelievable how far that pear had to travel to get to this middle of nowhere place. And so I give thanks for all of those things. I give thanks for every opportunity that I have to share these experiences with you. And I can't tell you enough how amazing it is and how restorative it's been to be at a place like this. I can only show you on a journey, and the journey that I'm presenting on my channel is often interwoven with all kinds of experiences. And at any moment, you never know what's going to happen. I've been walking for, like I said, about 2.5 miles, and I see one fly. We got one fly that joined us. So there are signs of life, and the signs of life here are spectacular. And you would never know if you didn't stop and sometimes just look down and take some time to see what you could see.
I was also graced with the presence of some quail. Can you see them? Some of the formations throughout this hike were seemingly made up of gemstone of some sort. It was so beautiful. And so peaceful. As I'd mentioned, I found plenty of evidence of previous civilizations, with some evidence pointing to signs that indicate that some of this wasn't too far in the past.
And just like that, I've been walking around for 4.5 hours. Time really flies, especially when you're just having a leisurely day. It's not very frequently that we were allowed to do things like this, because from the very beginning we were indoctrinated into a training system where basically we learned to do what? Pay attention and be productive. And as an attentive, productive human being, I'm then a valuable resource. And as a valuable resource, I'm recognized generally among my peers for whatever resources I'm permitted to spend on. So with all that in mind, would you remember how to get back to where we came from? My landmarks are over my shoulder somewhere. Not that far. Should be right around here that I'm headed to. It's hard to make out over my shoulder, but the point is that I've got some landmarks in mind where I'm going to be walking towards. And you know, I came from one of the black peaks over there, and I had pretty much explored all the way through this entire ridge, and it was pretty amazing. Check out these feathers.
It's primarily due to the rapid loss of vegetation that I was allowed to explore this area of the desert. In the past, it would be extremely difficult. Look closely and you might see the jackrabbit. Did you see it? You'll get another chance if you look carefully. And check out this somewhat ancient can. That walk took me 5 hours and 50 minutes. This kind of hike could be treacherous during the summertime heat, but we managed to fully enjoy this one because of the unusually timed weather phenomena. In this clip, I'm trying to share the raindrops that are suddenly falling on the car.
On this day, I made it back to camp early to enjoy the sound of raindrops on the tent and the coyotes at night. And I was reminded as to why there are seldom any owls here anymore. By the way, kudos to everybody who silences their car confirmation options. That way we don't have beeping, chiming, honking in the middle of the night at places like this where sound is a bit more precious. Until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff. You're an angel from above. Never waver in your love. Lucifer was from there too. Did he look a lot like you? And I wonder, round and around, and I wonder, round and around, that a woman, what can I say? Different places, different fate. Talked with her, but not a thing. Wouldn't listen, not a ring. And I wonder, round and around, and I wonder, round and around. You're an angel from above. Never waver in your love. Lucifer was from there too. Did he look a lot like you?